Okay. All right, so where is the volume? Hi. Hello. How are you this fine day?
I am doing well. Kind of warmed up on this.
Boy, oh boy, did it ever. Okay, let's do it. We'll see if this works. Okay, so good. There. Couple more minutes. So warm.
Air conditioned in here. It's just the hike up to the hill.
Sorry?
It's just the hike into the building.
Yeah. I've got one person who walks here from this apartment. Didn't think he was gonna be here.
I say, have there been other people coming to the Friday afternoon?
Oh, sometimes I'll have 8 or 9 people here.
Okay.
It's just, I'm hearing several people are using, since school started now, it's like, okay, I'm gonna get out of town, go for, I don't have to worry about grandkids or whatever, so they're taking trips going this way, somebody's, they're going with their grandson to get into college, you just never know what's gonna
Oh,
happen.
yeah.
That kind of life stuff. All right, we'll get started now. See. Okay, you gonna watch me? Come on, watch me, camera. Watch me, watch me, watch me. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So today we're gonna do some things with our feet. Part of standing, part of sitting for balance, and to if you have any kind of like neuropathy or sometimes we're not real sure what the foot is when you're ready to put it down.
Yeah, I have a little bit of neuropathy and Raynaud's in my foot.
Okay. What are Raynaud's? I don't know that.
It's a circulation problem.
Okay. So that's great. That's, yeah. But things we're gonna do should definitely help with that. So we'll start by just finding comfortable places to stand. Sure your feet are a little wider than hips. And you're gonna slowly inhale. So just start to inhale slowly and just take a pause and inhale some more. Pause. And your whole body is filling with air. Your backside, your feet, every part is just filling with all kinds of wonderful energy and oxygen. And we're just gonna let our hands sink, so we just go, ah. Tip your chin down if you want, get a nice little stretch in your neck. And up again. Hands can slowly float a little. I can holding under the fireman's pole, and then just sliding out. Ah. Check the alignment of your knees over your toes, make sure that everything's in line. If it's not, just give it a little turn on your toes so you don't feel it. It's almost like a cog the notches right there, and then find that little fold. This hand put over this way. Turn the hip just a little bit, let it go. Then just follow, comes back. Here we go. Inhale, taller, expand. This head floats up, and we just watch it go across. It comes up and goes down. Inhale, expand all around, and sometimes people have trouble remembering, when do I breathe? Well, on the side, it's just like getting ready to go for a trip. We're home, we're packing things in the car, we're packing snacks and backpack, we're doing all that stuff, everything we need. So bring in an inch and everything we need, now we're on our trip. Just relax, let the world go by. All of it. And here we stop tonight, we have to replenish our snacks. And we just go, as I come across here, I'm going to turn my head just a little bit, and I'm going to have body over that knee and that leg. Inhale here, everything goes back over here. Sink down as I'm going. Everything's going to be over this way, knee, back up, and up. Inhaling on the side, edge. And in terms of the hand, it's kind of like pulleys or counterbalance. This one goes down and this one comes up. Relax into it. Inhale here. Bring it to our feet, just relax. It's like you're sinking down in that sugary white sand and the lagoon. Inhale and pull the ball. Bracing the knee with both foot over. Inhale up. And just as I start to let go, everything relaxes and just kind of melt down. Inhale. And as we're doing this, what's happening? Coming across, shifting away from neutral, all the way comes over here, where the hands are going. We inhale, taller, full of air. Then we just let that go. We come down and get out of air, so we take it down naturally. Down right here. One thing we don't do is focus on our knees. So some people will say, well, why don't you just tell me to bend my knees? Well, because if I say bend your knees will ever go, wait a minute, I heard, I'm not going to do it. So instead, we're just from here, we're just sliding down the fireman's pole and just melting. Do it that way, then our tailbone just tucks in just a little bit. And it'll help get rid of all the stress and strain and pain in the back. So we right there, inhale. And then just let it go. Just sinking down, straight down. Right here, I'm going to turn my hip just a little. Inhale up. Let go, sink down. Right here, everything's right there in the middle. We then keep going to the next.
I just figured out why it seems so weird in here.
Because sunglasses. Maybe you're going in cognito.
It's like, there's something wrong with you.
It was the temperature of 67 degrees. And I turned it off. That's, yeah, no one's wrong to be 67. So right here is for exhaling, relaxing down, taking. Right here, inhale up, and you'll call it your full air. As the gratitude comes back. Right here, all the way here, well, it's about 80% of it's here. And we just turn that hip just a little. Inhale. And here. A couple of things will happen when we're doing this. You're going to be strengthening all the muscles and tendons through here in your hip joint. So straightening the back so it'll just relax down and let go of all the tension. So, and we're getting a lot stronger with all these stuff. And as we come over here, now be aware of your foot. Is the heel have more of the weight of the ball, or is it arch? Just not to say you have to adjust them. Just from coming down, the weight shifts over here. Just be aware of how that feels. And you come over here, do the same thing. Part of it's getting more tired than the other part. Inhale. And we're going to get each get a chair. We could just do this part, seated. So, everyone, chair. You two one if you like. Because we just have small turns in the hip, we will do the same thing here. So this can be your new favorite thing to do during commercials, or whatever is going on. So we start where we were at the beginning. So hands and feet are still about the same distance apart. Imagine that cord is pulling up from the top of our skull. It's a little taller. So as we inhale, we're just going to feel the air in your legs, your thighs, your hips, everything fills up. Punch around and go. Feel yourself settling into the chair. Chin goes down, right through the left part. Hands go up over our knees. Wherever is comfortable, and stay down the feet and up. Push down the feet and heel up. Spot like that. And your elbows together. This is called opening the door. Like starting a new month, starting a new morning. First thing you do, and garden, you do coffee, and open up the big machine shed door. Watch the sun. Lie down, everything just laugh completely down. And if you want to, wherever you are, exhale one more time. This time, when I get ready to exhale, I'm going to take both hands and go over one leg. Either one doesn't make a difference. Like inhaling, and just let my hands slide down either side of this leg. Exhale. And then, just let your hands down. When you're ready, push down and feel with this foot. Inhale, you come right back. Do it on the other side. And tuck your chin and just go, exhale all the way. Exhale. Whenever you feel ready, push down and feel this foot. Inhale up. Walk the hands up the leg if you want to. We're going to play with just how it feels using the hands in different places on the leg. So this time, you start the same way. As I come down, that point is here, this hand's going to just hang. And this one's going to go down the outside of that leg. Exhale, exhale, exhale. As long as it feels good. Now, if you're going down, maybe you're right here and it goes, oh, that feels like it's getting time. And back up a little inhale. And then back down. Both hands. When you do this time, we're going to go down again. When we get to the knee, this hand is going to just hang, back my chin. This one's going to go to the inside. Let it come hand right around the ankle and back. Just hang. Then you're ready, we're trying to feel it. Inhale and up. Watch the head back up to the line. And go straight down and close up the hand. Just tap it off. And then go to another leg. When you're ready, inhale. Going up. And like here. And let go all ears are just empty. Tuck the chin, just roll down. Just both hands go all the way down. Put your forehead underneath, you want to, or just down. Walk the foot back up. Inhale. This hand is going to hang down. This one come down. This one's going to go down outside that way. Tuck the chin, roll down and on the door. If you're not quite there, take a small breath, and then go forward. That's how very flat. So all hands, and then up again. And then push down the foot. Comes down. This one's just going to hang. your friend. This one is going to come down on the inside. It's down and slide around to the inside. This is a really good way to stretch your back and let everything go. Now, there's some little add-ons if you want to with this. So let's say this time, and now I'm going to put it on my forearm, my elbow right here. This hand slide down, maybe it wants to slide down the front. And just stand right there. Just see how your back feels. You tell where's it like it's really relaxing. There's a place where it feels like it's flexing a little bit, a little tight, blow out in the air. The other side. Inhale. Exhale. Forward. The thing with all of this is you can change it around any way you want. Let's just say we go down my forearm here, and I'm going to turn my head and look over toward that wall. Look over that toward the roots. Exhale, exhale. Now my elbow is going to roll off into the middle. My head looks down. Maybe the other elbow comes up and sits there. Inhale a little bit. I turn and look the opposite direction. One thing you're doing is perfect. That if you're down, you want to keep your chin tucked, and to turn your neck, you need to turn it like it's in a semicircle, like the bottom of the happy face. So it goes down. Then don't just crank it this way. And tip it up and down, but so it comes up. Then you do it. Just that little smile from the other way. Everything is built on circles. So whenever you're sliding down this way, come around, slide down. One hand stays on my knee. And up to the full breath in. Just turn again. Let the chin flex down. Really good. Down, up to the height. Let's scoot down to the center. Arms, that one push down. Back up when you're ready. The whole thing is completely up to you. You can do whatever you want with it. It's not a thing that you have to do in a certain way, because that might not be the way that's going to relax and release the tension you've got in your back, the pain, whatever. You know, you can just play with it. I mean, after all, this is your playground. You can do whatever you want with it. So let's say
Actually, instead of relaxing my back, I made it hurt more.
you're doing that. Where at? Right in the middle? Right in there?
Yeah, both sides.
On the sides there.
I spent about an hour and a half with an electric sander today.
Well, my version there.
And doing this stuff.
Yeah. So there's probably a lot of the shoulders across and
Yeah,
then
her I was doing dishes.
Yeah.
That was just like, cleaning like yes.
Yeah. When, a lot of times when you're doing dishes, if you know, had any time, I know we've all done this. If you have to do all the dishes after Thanksgiving dinner or big dinner, you know, and since you're sitting there going, will the glasses and plates ever stop coming? You know, and then you're doing the pots and pans and there's a roaster and a skillet.
How many times do you fill the sink with soap and water?
Yeah, drain it, start over because it's not fit for anything. I think you gotta come out clean. But one of the things we tend to do when we're standing at the sink is we tend to lock our legs, like I mean, so we kind of, they may start like this, and then we just kind of like lock the knees back, and that pushes our back out like this. So we end up kind of having a pot belly here and pushing our circus out. So the back is formed like an S right there. And that's, like you said, we had both spent so many hours doing that. So the whole idea
I'm
of,
finding myself sometimes kind of when I'm getting ready or doing dishes or something. Sometimes I find myself kind of laying my knees against the cabinet,
yeah,
which maybe
that may,
maybe good and maybe bad.
depends on probably how you're leaning that way too.
When I do things away from my mind, that hurts my back.
Sure, because if we just, let's say we just do that slowly, though.
Like wash dishes right here.
Yeah.
I have to use my shirt,
Yeah,
but it would feel better.
it'd feel a whole lot better. So if we just inhale and then just slowly, just let your hands come out and just be aware of how everything feels as you come out. And it starts to feel tight there in that, right about where your waist is, in the back. Right here. Especially when there's a full water. Move that up and then all of this starts. It's just kind of like a,
And you're doing such little stupid stuff that's no big deal, but it's wear and tear.
yeah, and it's, we have to feel like we have to stay in one position instead of like maybe turning our hip and grab that picture, lift it up this way and put it down. If we can kind of train ourselves to use Tai Chi in everything. So like, let's say if we were cooking and I realized, oh, I need the skillet. So skillet's right over there. So I'm just gonna turn my hip, bend down, open the drawer, reach in, get a rolling shut, whatever. And if it's not there, maybe I have to take a step, and that's okay too. But just like let your shoulders come this way. Opening that, grab the right hand, maybe there's another one on top of it, so you have to put that one up. We take time to do it slowly enough, we have to kind of feel every part of it, then we'll stop doing it from hard way. It's when we do everything fast, like
That's the one.
fast, automatic, yeah, that we just do all the wear and tear. And so everything hurts worse. And like the sander, I mean, wherever you got it, you kind of miss with it.
I'll probably never do what I did today again. You know, I mean, it was new boards for the dining room chairs, sanding the edges mostly so that it wouldn't rip the new cap.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Never
never
do
do that again, you know?
Yeah,
Hold that furniture up for 15 years longer.
and it's, but whenever we do that, yeah, raking leads out this. And right here, it's okay, and then I start to stand up. I'm using my pilot, it just goes right down there, yeah. So if we become more aware of how it feels whenever we move, and then take our time. So if let's say I'm over here, it's gonna rake, I'm gonna say, okay, I did a great job of getting the inhale, so just relax then. And I maybe I take it out this way. Get out again. I inhale. I do a lot of back at home, you know, and then analogies or comparisons, but it's like when he's ready to pass the ball, you know, he comes back like he gets the ball, he brings it back, and he starts to look, and he looks across, and maybe the person he wants to throw to is right there. But he will just keep looking at the other one, and then he'll just let it go that way.
I told Chuck about that.
Uh-huh.
Because we talked about it, I think it was last time. And I think she did that. We'll have to
Watch how the gentleman throws. And, you know, and maybe he gets over this way and changes hands, and that really is. So it's just taking your time and saying, okay, here's the ball. Instead of bringing it in this way, maybe I'm going to turn it, inhale, so I'm spiraling my energy, getting more strength, and just. And the way he throws, he understands that this is where my power is. This is not power. This is the truck that delivers it. This is not power. And this is not much power either. So instead of expecting that this is going to work, say, why this is power. This is my strongest muscle, my strongest rotating door. So it's like, and now,
like right now the baseball players.
Yeah.
You know, you're at the base and they're sideways, and they got to throw that leg way up in the air and takes their whole body and
when you do that, and it's all that spiraling, because when you break, I can't stand on my leg up that much. But you know, they come back up, they're inhaling, and so they're spiraling all the energy here, like pressing a spring. And then they just let it go. It's that whole spiraling.
yeah, and they're taking a 6-foot step when they're doing all that.
I'm not going to do that. But
I'm assuming they're 6 foot tall, so they can.
yeah, I don't know. But that's the whole thing. We tend to just forget the biomechanics of our body and just say, you know, like, oh, sure, boom, and expect this to do much.
That's probably why things like athletics, we keep reinventing, and people can do so much more than they could a couple decades ago. You know, something that was a really fantastic achievement.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's because we figured out the biomechanics of and the physics
The physics
of the sports. I
exactly.
think it's the same tools. Different. No one had metal bats for a while. One of those things
Just
down
a
there.
little point. Yeah. Yeah, and they kind of reverse
They're real
it.
dangerous and stuff.
Yeah. Yep. So anything we're doing, just take your time and take the time to kind of look at them. What is it? I've done this a billion times, but I don't think I want to do that anymore. I don't want to do it that way. So I inhale, and there's plates here and here. So maybe I don't want to do it with just one hand because my wrist is not as strong as it might have been. I turn my head, inhale, grab them, grab them again, inhale. So if we think, the other thing we do is we just tend to like stand and let this happen instead of turning the hip. Lift up, turn the hip. And if
I
we,
need to tell people in the occupational therapy.
it's a whole lot the same.
I've never been to occupational therapy, but today it's kind of occupational therapy.
Yeah, it's a lot the same because it's all finding new ways to do things so you don't hurt.
I suggested to a woman that I talked about this when you PTS. She's going, well, I understand PT. Why would you go to OT? In her mind, occupational therapy was what had taught women clean the bathroom and be in the
Yeah.
kitchen again.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Life,
get dressed,
life skills,
he's falling, getting dressed, occupational therapy would teach him better ways to get dressed,
Safer ways
get
to
dressed,
dress,
and put on his shoes. Really? So, yeah, it's everything.
outstanding point, yeah, it is.
It's not just relearning how to run a kitchen.
Right, or how to make.
Because I knew that's where she was coming from, and they're not even one of them running the kitchen, they do the rooster.
Yeah. And then we have.
And he's in rehab and getting there.
But it is, it's like life skills and taking the time, if we learn it one way, we can learn it another way if it doesn't hurt. So that's our body heal where it won't hurt.
I was so frustrated yesterday, mom has a new nurse. Mom had fallen the night before and her tender shoulder was more tender, but she slid out of the wheelchair. And this new nurse was trying to help mom get out of the recliner into the wheelchair. Not helping. She just was making a lot of mistakes. And it's like, sit up and make her move to the edge of the chair. Then tell her to stand up and you just let her do it. Just be there and let her go hang on. And if you're gonna need to on her, she's too weak or something, get the belt.
Yeah,
Get
get
there
something.
the belt thing.
Yeah,
It's like get the belt and you get to look and don't grab on the shoulders. One of them's fake and the other one hurts.
yeah, it is. I want to spend some time now on feet. Okay. So with feet, we have one heart, obviously, it's pushing blood out through the arteries, and we've got little stop beats that then back up. But from the veins, when it gets clear out the extremity, it's a long ways from the heart. Something needs to push it. So we have different parts in our body which work as like secondary parts. It could be like this part of our hand, pumping. But if they're going to do your blood pressure, sometimes they do one of those little rubber squeezy things or whatever they pump, squeeze, and the veins start showing there.
Yeah, when they're gonna take blood.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that. And the bottom of the feet and the arch of the foot, right in here, we have one of those areas too. There's not much muscle. There's a whole lot of connective tissue. And the muscles that are there are very small and fine. So we're not going to be bulging up. But it will reflex in that way. The feet is going to help with strengthening. This is where we get out of my shoes. Right, too. So now if you spread your toes out, clench them.
So to me, this is a yoga room. A lot of people are there for the
That's true.
I wear yoga socks. Just so my feet get cold.
So, when you clench, spread.
I tend to get foot cramps when I squeeze my toes.
Okay.
I'm not doing it right now.
So that's good.
But I mean, I know I've learned foot exercises and I have a friend that does foot reflexology. And teachers, do a lot of stuff with your feet, but last couple of years, I've had a lot of training when I do. This is nice that I'm not.
Yeah. So with the feet, let's take it up, start out here with the sciatic. A lot of people get pain from the sciatic, and it starts here, and then it just goes all the way down. And they can wake up with cramps, foot, arch, and everything. So if we done magic string before, so if you want to think in terms of magic string, attach it. Inhale, and just kind of reach out and let the foot, the heel comes first, then just gradually exhale, let it just lay down. So Now, if you do an inhale, if you get it partway down and it doesn't want to go any farther, inhale up a little bit. Every time you exhale, you want to think almost like you're hugging it or massaging it, soothing it, saying, just relax. Imagine it's nice. And as we exhale, the more you exhale, the more we relax all of these muscles, all the connective tissue. So, now you can just practice bringing the toes up, put it back down, put it down. Like there's a rope tied to his toes, just pull it up, put it down, things like that. But in doing that, let's say it's here, and just let it go straight out from this leg. And an inhale, I'm just going to let it turn the ankle just a little bit and sit down. Exhale, exhale. Help bring it back a little, turn the ankle. And,
This is kind of stuff I could do, riding cross
Riding the
country.
car, absolutely, absolutely. Or doing a commercial, whatever. This way. So turn it this way, and you'll feel it starts right back, right about here in that sciatic stern. And you've got a flex all the way down here, back. You on the same side of here, so inhale. Feel down, and all the way down. It doesn't let it go over. Little inhale. Almost like you're caressing it back to the back. Inhale. There are different ways we do this, but for this part, just leaving the heel down, just lift it up and turn the ankle a little bit. Relax it down. Go up. Turn it. Just pull out and forward and do the same thing. Make it more stretching here. Completely up to you. But when you've got it turned this way, you're really getting flexing all of the stuff here, across the foot and the toes. The other thing is to keep our ankles strong, make them stronger, more flexible, so we don't twist and fall. Inhale, lay it down. Here, I'm lifting it up and setting it down. Now, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm not going to lift the heel up. I'm just going to turn it. And measure my toes, just kind of go over more on the bone. Inhale, put it on the heel. This side. First, we'll just lift it up. Turn it down on the little toe. Up. Big toe. Now I'm going to leave the heel down. I'm just going to turn it down. Inhale. And as we do that, we're strengthening that ankle. It's almost like getting 1 or 2 seconds out of a great timeline. If you get, you're doing this and your ankles are stronger and you're getting more confidence internally. So maybe you're walking and you hit a pine cone, your foot starts to roll over, that was always the reason you'd always fall down and end up coming again. So let's say you're doing that, and you hit that pine cone, and suddenly you go, wait a minute, I know how to get out of this, lift it up, put it down. Instead of getting in that mad panic, I'm gonna fall and get hurt kind of mentality. It just gives you time. I had that this spring, I was just watching the dogs, there was a crosswind, it's like a vortex, and it lifted me up. I realized I was off in the air, and it turned me. I thought, okay, I'm gonna fall into it. I got a couple seconds. Okay, I'm just gonna turn my hips so I land this way. So I landed, so officially a fall, I guess. Because it caught me and then dropped me. But there was like 1 or 2 seconds where I was pausing and go, okay, it's gonna turn me and I lift the hip, my hips go this way, my shoulders go this way. Take me down, turn. Gives you that 1 or 2 seconds that you can make some decisions about. Okay, I know this, I'm going to end up on the ground, but I have a choice in how I do that. Don't fight it. Someone would say, this is not the time to fight it because you're swimming in the air. This time. And you put your foot like here. Step on a pine cone, and it's going to roll on you. Instead of rolling this way, maybe you can sit back, put your foot all the way back on this hip. Because if we're walking, more settle into our hips, the tailbone's tucked, slid down the pole, and this foot goes out. And right here, maybe it hits something and starts to go like this, and we can just come back and go back. It's fine. That whole thing with Qigong walking, and where we like this, and take inhale, put it up, put it down. Seems so simple, but what we're doing is we're inhaling, bringing energy in, we're turning and putting our spiraling our energy in a greater color. And we're flexing all the joints as we're doing that. Everything's getting flexed, it's stronger, more flexible. What we were doing at the beginning is like holding the embracing the moon and going this way. Inhale, this way, and this way. Whatever you want to do. Basically, hand is going to turn a little bit this way. We're going to inhale, go down here, and it's going to come a little bit this way. Inhale. And as we're doing that, the hip turn, a lot of people will twist at the waist, and then you can get your back and continue on. But as we're coming over here, we're going to feel the weight on our feet, even though we're sitting. Right here, inhale. I'm going to put that heel down as I exhale, and I'm going to push down the heel. It's going to strengthen the heel. Right here, we inhale. And this foot's going to push down. Turn this right here. Then you can play with this. So let's say over here, this one, I'm going to push down my heel like I did. I'll lift up this cheek. It's easier to turn the head. Inhale, push down here. let's say as I'm turning, first I'm gonna push down that heel, and then I bring that heel up and my toe, my weight's on my ball, my foot, and my toes. Come back, maybe here it starts in the ball and the toes. You know, here it's on the center. But you just simple things like this where you say, okay, these toes get pushed. Now all of my foot's gonna push. Heel's gonna push. Whole foot's gonna push. Just play with it because we're doing that flexing in the foot. Everything a chance to show off. Keep the toes down, all the foot down, all the foot down, heel down, toes down, all that sort of thing. So that's doing this is good for sciatica. It's also starting to be aware of your feet. It's like we're turning this one, turning this way, turning that way. Any of these things where you're, using your whole foot, flexing the toes, and trying to open, and all that. Use the heel, and let the arch go down. All the foot push. Like different parts push. It's not a big push, but it's enough. Like inhale, just help me. I want to turn my hip that way, so use all my foot to push it. Okay. Inhale. Use my arch and rest of my foot flat. Heel of my foot. Okay. But just play that at home. Let me know how it feels next week.
I think I'm still going to be doing this.
Okay.
There's a tiny chance we're going on vacation.
See, this is why people aren't always here on Fridays. Oh, we're going on vacation. Okay, I'm good.
Well, but I'm thinking, on this, I'm picturing doing this in the car
Yeah,
rather than on the interstate highway.
yeah,
We spend 17, 20 to 20 hours in the car.
oh. Keep your chin tucked and start getting. It's funny if you start feeling our head, you can wear like a sleep pillow and some things like this and help support. I used to put those collars on. That'll help a lot because it supports your skull. So it's not always up to you, this tiny little group.
What are you suggesting using something like that?
Maggie has been,
Maggie Kelly?
yes, Maggie Kelly. She would always, whenever she traveled, she'd get those styrofoam collars that they used to use.
Retraction.
Yeah. Exactly that. She would put one of those on so that her head was supported. And that way her head wasn't getting tired, her shoulders, everything, it just.
For driving or for riding or both?
I suppose for both. I know I've had people, I think I saw a picture once with her driving went on, and I've heard her talk about.
Seems like it could improve your.
Yeah, well, if we get back into turning the hip to look that way, turning the hip to look this way. Because again, you're training yourself. Because it's when we go this way and we twerk here and here and everything goes in. So we can get back and say, it's all one piece, and I'm just gonna turn my hip. Turn my hip back. Cars now have added to have backup cameras to show you what's on the back end.
I can't, I don't learn to trust that. I don't drive it all very often.
Mhm.
Cars that have that. Simple.
I have something to it's not that new. But there's some things that help that. And again, we can just train ourselves to relax and go, okay, Turn to him. But it's just twisting it.
My back feels better, just with what we've been doing.
18. That's the goal.
Yeah.
My guys are feeling better. I'm sorry?
Think more about keeping it together, right, as a unit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Keep it as a unit. Just let everything turn. And let, if anything needs to turn, then we have to do the work.
Great big solid ball joint.
Yeah.
And then I think mine are healthy. It's knees and ankles in my family.
So one of the things we don't, as I said earlier, we don't highlight knees because they're like 3-year-olds. They will immediately start throwing a temper tantrum and saying, I don't want to, I don't feel good.
What's part of the string?
Yeah.
Is it string there?
Yeah, my strength, magic strength.
Magic string, magic string.
Yeah. It was an amazing.
I can't lift my foot.
Yeah.
The string can.
Yeah, and tie the string around and said, she just, it was like she couldn't believe it. She couldn't believe it. And her friend, both of them, kept sitting there going, I can't move my leg. And tie around. And what I thought was, is once they did that, then it was like, you know, okay, what else can I do? What else can I do? I mean, they were like the Radio City Rocket.
Yeah, and but to me, it feels silly, you know, acting like a marionette. But I can see that we're having a hard time getting started. We got us started.
It's, the thing is, you know, whatever your brain, your mind tells you is what the body will say.
Yeah, your mind believes yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So if the mind,
wrong with saying don't something, say that do positive.
do the positive, get rid of the negativity and just say, instead of saying don't fall, say, don't say
Stand up straight.
stand up straight, walk with confidence and be safe the whole way. That seems like a better way to send anybody out the door. So, yeah, just say, and it's like, oh, it's, I can't do it. Okay, well, the strength, can't watch the strength. And it works every single time. Every single time. I've been amazed. Pleasantly amazed. The other thing I was going to say, you know, when you're riding in the car, the things we're doing, you know, like, this way, you don't have to you don't have to make a big deal of moving. You can get where, say, like, let's say I'm going to push down this with to turn the hip. Inhale. And make just your hands on the legs, move just a little bit. One goes back, forward.
Yeah, because you don't want to do too much that disturbs the driver.
Right.
This is real, you know, once it got dark, I would go to work on Friday nights. Once it got dark, I could do all kinds of stuff that I didn't do.
Keep your eyes on the road.
You know, and I would, you know, over there doing stuff with my feet and my ankles. And but you didn't really see it. Yeah. I would not have a bench seat. I think bench seat, you know, the movement could have bothered you. The
But
separate
yeah,
seats.
exactly. It's much easier to do it. So you can do things like that, you know.
But I have, you know, at different times done isometrics and you got different workouts in there and RC.
Yeah.
And he's okay. I mean, he realizes that he's okay. A lot of times he's oblivious.
That's fine. Focus on the
Pay
rest.
attention to what you're doing.
Yes.
He washes around the car a lot more than I do.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's like, but where people behind you so much and do such and such. Well, I appreciate you being here, even though there's not many here.
Oh, you're fine. You're plenty. I appreciate your coming.
And, there is a chance that sometime in the next 2 weeks, we're gonna kind of spur the moment, like,
Okay. Fine.
hoping it's like, come home today, I mean, reservations.
So if you think of it, you might drop me an email or a text and just say, flying the coop or something.
You were going to, contact me. You did not.
I did not, I haven't gotten that done yet. I apologize.
I did look on Facebook under the Dawn and find your
Done.
schedule.
Madonna and Staley and the schedule. Good. Yeah, I have a Facebook page, Madonna Staley, and then Tai Chi 123.
Yeah, I think I downloaded those.
Yeah.
But it was like right after the first time I was here. So
Yeah, and I apologize.
I
inundated
found
it,
it, so it
Yeah.
was like,
and we get it done.
and I decided that I was gonna pretty much do this here at this time and stick with some other things I already have in the works on the other time.
I'm glad you come.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Don't try, I just kind of count on me. Do it on Friday afternoon, regular.